tying everything in a skirt and mentally weighing up who he would be leaving with at the end of the evening. Chris, the boffin, regaling the rest of us with the complicated details of the research he was conducting into renewable sources of energy. And Jeff, the joker, mimicking the way one or other of us spoke or behaved. And me? I was on the edge, as I had always been, part of the group without engaging too closely with anyone else there. I listened vaguely as Alexandra told me about the wedding she was planning and how proud her father was going to be to see his princess walk down the aisle. But as Craig and Jeff competed to see who could down their drink in the fastest time, and Matt told some smutty anecdote about one of the secretaries in his office who was rumored never to wear any knickers, I realized I wasn't really interested in any of this. Nice as their partners were, and much as it was fun to reminisce about things we'd done, I realized with hideous clarity that I had outgrown these people. Suddenly, the cozy interior of the pub was too hot and stifling, the music coming from the jukebox too loud. I didn't have to feign the headache that pressed at my temples as I rose to leave. "Sorry, everyone," I said. "I think I've got a migraine coming on. I'm going to go back to my room and lie down." "You will be all right, Simon?" Alexandra asked, her voice touched with concern. "I'll be fine," I assured her. "I just need to be somewhere cool and dark so I can sleep it off." I gave the group a farewell wave. "See you all in the morning." The boys watched me go, familiar with the stress headaches I had always suffered when I was revising for my exams. I don't know what they would have said if they had realized that, on this occasion, they were the cause of my stress. Out in the cloudy night air, the throbbing in my head began to ease a little. It was only a 5-minute walk back to the bed and breakfast, but for some reason I found myself turning in the opposite direction, tracing the route Matt had taken when he had driven us here. I walked past the handful of shops on the main road, closed at this time of night, and the village church with its little graveyard, many of the headstones so old they seemed in danger of toppling over. My feet seemed to have a purpose of their own, and I carried on, clambering over a stile and beginning to climb the hill towards the 9 Virgins. In truth, I hadn't realized that was where I was heading until I found myself in the middle of a circle of jagged, weather-beaten stones, the largest of which was only a little taller than I was. When the owner of the bed and breakfast had described them to me, I had been expecting something slightly more impressive. But I could not deny that these stones had an unmistakable, brooding power. There were so many theories as to why these circles had been erected. Some experts suggested they were places of worship, others ancient calendars which marked the passing of the year according to where the shadows from the stones fell. All I knew was that tonight there was a distinct energy here. I could feel it. It was almost as though the virgins were waiting for something or someone. Dark thoughts of human sacrifice flashed through my mind, remnants of a religion older than the one that had built the church below me. Then the clouds parted, and the moon shone down on me, full and pale. They say that if you go up there when the moon is full and stand in the middle of the circle, the love of your life will come to you. I recited the words to myself, understanding now how someone might come up with such a story if they visited the stones on a night like this. But that was all it was, a story. And then I heard footsteps coming through the grass towards me. As I watched, a figure emerged from between the stones on the far side of the circle. I could have sworn there was a slight halo around him as he approached, the cold white of moonlight. But my vision often blurred and played tricks on me when I had a migraine attack. He came closer, and my heart lurched. He must have been around the same age as me, in his late 20s, with dirty blonde hair falling almost to his shoulders, and soft, brown eyes. His expression was open and friendly, and there was a dimple at the side of his mouth that deepened when he smiled. I felt the same pang of desire I experienced whenever I saw an especially hot man in the street, sharp and urgent. Now he was so close to me I could smell his unique aroma, a vaguely floral aftershave, mixed with the sweaty musk of a man who does hard manual work for a living.